Okay, so why did I show you array destructuring and the spread operator? Well, this becomes very helpful when you start to have data inside of other data. So for example, if we took an array and we stuck it inside of an array, then it could get harder to loop through that. We haven't done that before, so I'm going to demonstrate that to you real quick. So let's say we've got one superhero, which is Bruce Wayne Batman, and he caught 20 villains. And we could create another superhero right below, and we'd maybe call this superhero one, and we'd say Clark Kent, Superman caught 11 villains. Um, or what we could do is we could put it all in an array. So I'm going to bring in that array that ChatGPT helpfully created for me called the Justice League array. This array contains arrays inside of it. So for example, in the Justice League, we have this array right here, which represents one superhero. It has Clark Kent and Superman and 12, representing the number of villains he caught this month. So his first name, his last name, his hero alias, and the number of villains he caught this month. And you notice that it's done that for each of these. So if I were to loop through the Justice League array, each item in the array is another array. And I could loop through that array as well. In fact, what I want to do is I want to print out their first name and their last name, and then say alias, and then their alias, and then caught this many villains this month. So let's start writing that code. So I'm going to say for let hero of Justice League. So I'm saying take each item in Justice League. What is an item in Justice League? Well, it's this entire array right here. And it says and store it in hero, which means if I go to hero in the 0 position on the first time through the loop, it'll pull out Clark. And then the next time through the loop, it'll pull out Bruce, Diana, Barry, Arthur, Hal, Victor, and so on. So inside of this loop, I'm going to alert, and then I'm going to create a formatted string. You could do concatenation. I prefer formatted strings. So I'm going to say dollar curly brace, hero at the 0 position, space, dollar curly brace, hero at the 1 position, space, alias, dollar sign and curly brace, hero at the 2 position, has caught, dollar sign curly brace, hero at the 3 position, number of villains. So this code right here will work. And just to prove it, we're going to go over here and it says Clark Kent, alias Superman, has caught 12 villains. Bruce Wayne, alias Batman, has caught 20, number of villains. Diana Prince, alias Wonder Woman, has caught 15, number of villains. And I'm going to take out number of because that makes the message sound silly. And I'm just going to put it back to villains. So this is okay, and it definitely works. But we could use what we learned about array destructuring to make it a little more readable. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to say let, and then I'm going to use my square braces. And I'm going to say first, last, alias, and villains. And I'm going to set it equal to hero. So it's going to take each array out of here, put it into hero, and then out of hero, I'm going to say set the first, my variable called first equal to the first position in the array, my variable called last to the second position in the array, my variable called alias to the third position in the array, and my variable called villains to the fourth position in the array. Now where I said hero 0, I can just put first. Where I said hero 1, I can put last. Where I said alias, or where I said hero 2, I can put alias. And where I put hero 3, I can put villains. So what I'm saying is, so now this becomes a little more readable. Because now when I look at this alert, instead of saying, oh, they're pulling things out of an array, I see first, last, alias, alias, has caught, villains, villains. And now I know that they're injecting the number of villains here, the alias of the superhero here, and the first and the last name here. And it's a little more readable and therefore a little more maintainable. All right, so we'll save this and we'll go over to our code and we'll see that Clark Kent, alias Superman, has caught 12 villains. Bruce Wayne, alias Batman, has caught 20 villains. And I'm going to go through just a couple more of these, and you can see that it is still working exactly the way it was before. But now we've destructured our array, so our code is a little more readable, and we can go from there.